that were like about each of the different GIVeconomy pages. So I'd love to go over them with everyone here. I don't have any distractions except my dog was just knocking on the door, so I'm going to go open it in a second. I'll pass it to Charek.
Thank you, Lauren. Hey guys, my intention is talking about the issues that I should work in the future, and also I want to know about the state of the backend of the project. Also, I want to give my updates about the front end of the project. I don't have any serious distraction. Maybe I should leave about 30 minutes later, maybe. Yeah. And I pass it to Griff.
Awesome, thank you. Oh, my video's not on. I'm super excited for this call. Excited to hear the updates, the latest. See if there's any demos to play with. I'm really curious about the mining, like if we have liquidity mining program spun up or what the plan is for that. And a new gardens deployment, and also all the smart contract help that seems to be flowing in. Pavle, Jesus, we'd love to hear ViViV. We'd love to hear how we're organizing around the smart contract development. And I'll pass it to Donna.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, there's just a big delay, but we can hear you
guys. Okay, great. Well, I'm feeling great. I did a lot of testing on IO last week, and this week I'm going to. I want to sync up with you guys on what's happening in the gardens and where I can help. And I'm really excited. We have Pavle here to help Amin out. And yeah, that's it. I don't have distraction. And I want to pass it on to Mohammed.
Hey guys, I'm here to sync up with you and update you. I was working on the graph in the last week, 1 or 2 days, and I made some test GraphQL queries based on our smart contracts on XDAI network with the graph. So it's my state, and my distraction is that I'm in taxi. I'm going to English class. It's my distraction. Okay, I will pass it to Amin.
Hello. My intention is to how it's going. I get Sharik has lots of things to do, and Muhammad also, and I'm so eager to know who will help us during the smart contract development for the smart contract development, and also how I can start with Muhammad about implementing the backend, and we could work on it, defining the design, the schema, and find out which API we should provide for the front end. That's it. I pass it on to Ashley.
Hey guys, good morning. My intentions for this call is just to kind of sync up, see what's going on. I'm really excited to start like pushing buttons on things and playing with things, so whenever it's ready to start testing some of these things. Yeah. And my distractions, I don't really have any this morning, so that's it for me. So back to you, Lauren.
Maybe we can pass it to Mateo.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it pop in. Hey, pass it to you, Mateo.
Yeah, sorry guys, I was a little bit late. I'm just curious to listen what's going on. Yeah, I'll pass it back to Lauren. Happy to see you.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, everyone. Cool. Well, it sounds like we have quite a few things to go through. okay, I think it makes sense. We could probably walk through the GIVeconomy board and go through the issues, and I think that'll kind of like cover a lot of the questions that you guys wanted to sync up on. So yeah, let's do that quickly. So for the Give Garden, so what do we, so in the Gardens UI, just to update everybody, like before we were talking about what are we going to show for like this claim thing, it is possible that like the claim can just link us to our, like the claim button in the Garden can just like link to our liquidity mining Give farm. So that's how we're going to do it. And it's easy for us to change that just in a PR in the DAO list repo, which is here. Yeah, so that's just an update there. This is everything in review QA.
Sorry, you said that what goes to, I was distracted by the chat.
Yeah, so you know how we were talking before about in the Give Garden, when like what number do we show and like what do they claim when they press the claim button? We actually, like the Gardens team said, the claim button on the Gardens UI can just directly link us to the Give farm. So you click claim on the Gardens UI, it's like you have rewards to claim. You click claim and you end up at our Give farm. So then it's easy for the user to understand when they harvest from the Give Garden rewards, they get the pop-up showing they're getting the distro and everything, like everything in the distro.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you for saying that again.
Yeah, totally.
When we make that move, can we get them to make it like they clicked harvest on the that Give Garden farm? So like, I don't know if that's possible, so that they go straight to the pop-up.
I don't know. Is that possible? Can we do that?
I mean, or Charek, will that have its own URL or own like way to link to it, or is it more like an action side of a app?
I mean that it can end up to the Garden page. We have a different page for Garden, right? Yeah, we can end up to it.
Oh yeah, and they can claim on the Garden page, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, that works. I just didn't want them to go to the farm and have like all these options and be like, what is going on? If we can send them straight to the Garden page, that's fine.
Yeah. This is the Garden page. So if they click harvest, they could get the pop-up from there.
Yeah, we should put some link for them, consider some link for each of the sections.
We don't need the Garden. We don't need a link for the harvest page. I forgot that we can harvest straight from the Garden. I was imagining. Sorry. I think it's fine. I think it's better just to go to the Garden page.
I agree. Awesome. Okay. Well, I guess that's going to come later with these URLs. Right now in the liquidity mining test deployment, the link is just always to the overview page. But okay, so Marco's not here, but I know he was working a little bit more on these give drop design fixes. I don't think he integrated all the comments, but the decision was that to still leave in the calculators. It seemed like popular opinion that people like the calculators. Griff, do you want to just give us a quick update on the status of the give drop list?
Yeah, we just integrated the strategic partners. I mean, I'll be like, for instance, Pavle just started helping out a little bit. I want to make sure that he's getting a little bit. So I'll be tweaking it until probably the very end for these last additions of people who are helping. But we also decided to not do the combined address thing and just have people have it at multiple addresses. So people, because it's all on XDAI, so they'll just have to claim with their other addresses, but that's okay. Yeah, so we're basically done. I mean, there's like some buffer there for me to just add people until the last minute as people support us and that sort of thing. But other than that, we're good.
Okay. And then you have like Al, Jean, and Hannah who are like chasing down addresses, right? So, because I made a separate issue about that, but I don't think, do you need like more support on people getting people's addresses?
No, I don't think so. Unless, of course, I don't think so. I think it'll be easier for everyone else to focus on their things, and I'll just and Hannah can lead the charge, and Algene can support.
Sorry,
Okay.
what's combined addresses? You mean the placeholders?
No, we'll still need the placeholders, but it's like for instance, if you have multiple DApp addresses under Amin, we were going to try to combine them so it'll all be under one. But there's a few worries that maybe we steal people's airdrops. We think it's the same person, but it's not. I mean, there's 2 James Waz, for instance, and like just knowing which one is which is a challenge. So, we decided since it's on XDAI, everyone will just have to claim. We will not be combining addresses to like make it easier for people to claim. Take that out of scope.
Cool. Awesome. So then the only other thing here and in progress that I think we should quickly mention, Ashley, you guys had this meeting with Gemini, and it sounds like we can list the Gemini token or the Give token on Gemini after launch. And then just quickly, so then what does this mean for adding these giving block projects? We're going to add them, but we need to create another issue basically so that it's like contact Gemini and tell them to list Give token, right?
Yeah, I think that there is an issue on the dev board for that.
Okay, perfect. Great. Thank you.
Mateo, do you have any questions about that? Because I think that's your jam, right? You're the one implementing this.
Sorry, I was a little bit distracted. What were you talking about?
Getting the giving block projects on Giveth, and then having a Twitter link that says, "Hey Gemini." Like, I think we probably need someone to make the copy for that Twitter, Twitter thing, and like when people go to donate to Gemini projects, they'll only be able to donate Gemini coins, and there'll be a give drop down. I don't know. Is this thing fully explained, or does it need better design or better? Is there anything you need to make that work?
Maybe the flow with the new design would be a good idea, but I think I get the entire flow. So far, I have the Gemini US token to the pricing library. And we are ready to do just that. Just saying, like, as soon as we grab all of the giving block threads, we can do it. So, yeah, as you mentioned, it's really easy just to say, hey, you can tweet about it and just go ahead and limit the list of tokens as well. I think I get it.
Okay, cool. If you have any questions, you can reach out to like either me or Ashley. Or Griff, but he's busy, so reach out to me or Ashley. Cool. Okay, cool. So, gardens on XDAI. So this is a question. I was talking. So, I mean, I wanted to know if we are going to like deploy the liquidity mining again with like new refreshed rewards. And also if at the same time we should like deploy a new garden. I was going to create a new garden on XDAI to test their onboarding, and apparently they made some like new changes just so to make sure that everything doesn't break. So maybe we can I can deploy the new garden using their onboarding, and then we can also kind of at the same time create the new liquidity mining deployment and then have them connected.
Yeah, it's possible. So you want to have this create a new garden, right?
Yeah.
In that case, we can deploy new token as well. So we should do everything from the scratch.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, again, create the forms. The forms are created automatically, but I should manually create the rest of the. The liquidity pool.
We need to deploy a new token? We can't use the one that we had before?
Oh, we can. I don't know. What do you think, Griff? It saves our time. First.
I think it's fine to use the same token. As long as we have all the tokens that we need to like fill up all the token distro and all that. Also,
probably.
It would be really nice to try to test using the same token. Well, I guess we need to deploy a new token distro with some buffer space, right?
Yeah, I put some buffer for argue. As under the argue section, argue has what was, but it has great share on XI. It was huge.
But can our give pass its allocation into a new distributor?
Actually, I make the total supply big, but I don't allocate that to Argive yet in case it's needed. So, for instance, it has 90. Besides farms, I created an allocation for 90 million, for instance.
Yeah.
But when I gave the Mitch only 10 million, he said that it's enough for this. Okay, so I kept 80 million reserved for myself. For other use cases. So yeah, I have enough token. I can create a new token distro with the good reserve amount, and some tiny part of that I will assign to Argive, and the rest of that can be in our hand. Because Mitch will not use that much of tokens for testing.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how degen he goes. But when for liquidity mining, but he with the token distro, when we deploy the token distro next time, can we just leave basically the whole total supply, like 1 billion, in the as the token distro amount assigned? Because I was thinking about it. Because one of the things is that we can't add new tokens to the token distro if we didn't already have that initial number set.
Yes.
What if we set the initial number to be the total supply of Give, which is 1 billion, and then?
Yeah, it's a good idea. We can query at the deployment time the token contract and see how much is total supply.
Yeah.
And deploy, make it automatically, and don't compute based off the values we are passing it.
Yeah, and that way we can always add more. I mean, if you can just hard code it to be 1 billion, I don't think it'll be a problem if it's over the total supply.
Yeah, I want to make it automatic. Maybe, yeah, we can pass it manually. All right. 1 billion, right?
1 billion.
Yeah. Yeah, like Trump said, billions and billions and billions.
So I was a little lost for a second. In conclusion, we're using the same token. Amin's going to put more tokens in our Give. That's going to go in the token distro, and that's how it's going to work, right?
Yeah, we'll deploy a new token distro and basically a new almost everything except for the token. Right? I mean, is there anything else that we're not deploying? I guess the farms, we can use the same farm tokens.
I should deploy the. No, it's okay. No, that's automatic. I was thinking about, we had an issue for deploying for the duration of the Uniswap farm. I hope that will be fixed in the next. I fix it for the next run. It should be 13 LM duration. Yes, 13 LM duration, right?
13 what?
13 days. 13 days, each day being 1 2-week period in the final.
Okay.
Yeah. The Uniswap will pay reward for 13 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the Uniswap's on mainnet, so it'll be a different deployment. But and I guess a new token distro on mainnet too. That token distro on mainnet should also just be hard coded for 1 billion.
Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's move on. That makes sense. Let's talk about like some of these like nitty gritty back end, front end things. I realized that Mohammed is in the car and Cherek might have to leave soon. So if we could just quickly go through, I created some new issues. I basically went through like this liquidity mining deployment and then was like, these numbers aren't working. And then I made issues kind of like breaking them down. So yeah, or I guess like, let's first talk about the Give stream. Mohammed, you had mentioned that you started working on the graph, and do you have any just like updates to give more context before I move forward?
I just work with token distro smart contract. It's for persisting the balance of addresses and something like that. So I didn't spend time for other contracts, and I think for Giveth stream we should allocate all of the smart contract data. Am I right? I mean,
for the stream, basically we should listen to few things. I guess for every block, I had a shallow study of the documents. There are an event that is called on every block. So on every block, we should update the value of the string. How much is released, and put it in the graph. And when you query, you see that how much percent is released right now. We can talk about it when you come back from your class or every time. This value, the estimate how much the estimate is released, is not based on event. It's based on you should query the smart contract to say how much is released.
Okay, maybe. So Lauren, this is my states. Just should talk with Amin more specifically on this item.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we created a sample project for just playing with the token distro, and if we complete it, we could move forward for the others. Take a step process.
Cool. Okay, cool. So that's for the Give stream page. I think there were a couple other things for the Give stream page. Cherek, since we have you here too, I'll just go through them like in kind of order. I mean, I made this issue. I don't know what's easiest for you guys. If I'm like seeing issues that are kind of like front end, back end, should I make them separate issues or do like checklist style? Because I basically like put a bunch of things together. I was like, oh, the background is overlapping. Oh, this progress bar isn't working. Oh, like the stream thing isn't working. The flow rate's not right. And I put them all as like separate checkbox items. But what works best for you guys?
Which do you prefer, Cherek?
Excuse me.
They are tiny. There are few issues on the front end. Small issues in the front end. Do you need one separate task for each one, issue in GitHub for each one, or no? Make it as a one in a list, as a list.
No, they are okay. Don't need to separate them. I will do them, but I hold them to the backend is ready. When the backend is ready, I can do all of them together.
Yeah, I think some of these things are also like back end things, like this is just front end, like, oh, that's overlapping. But like the stream progress bar is supposed to show like the time. It's like over 5 years, it like goes up, So I tagged I tagged Mohammed, Amin, and Cherek in basically all of these issues. So if you guys could like take a look at them. And then I will work on them today and tomorrow. I'm working on the
state pop-up because there are details on that not implemented. For example, confirmed status or when the transaction sent. We should show some message to users that not implemented. I'm working on them. I think today they are finished. After that, I will start these issues, and they are very small and don't take many time to implement.
Okay,
We are
good.
taking the building blocks. He's preparing the building blocks, like pop-up, like other menu or something like that. That should be prepared first, and then we put content inside.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool. So I guess, yeah. All right. So Cherik is going to finish like these pop-ups and things, and then once they're completed, then Amin and Mohammed, you guys are going to coordinate and sort of like work on connecting the smart contracts in the back end to them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I wish I finished the smart contract this week, and then Mohammed, can you focus your next week on the backend? Are you free enough from the activities of the from the task from the USIO and US Stories backends?
Yeah, I think there is not big task or epics on Impact Graph, so I can just review Carlos PRs and put my focus on GIVeconomy. If Monique doesn't need me in that part, it would. I think I'm free.
I want you to.
He said he doesn't mind to share. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, I already asked Monique if we could have Mohammed for like 20 hours a week, and Monique was like, yeah. So he's cool.
Yeah,
he's cool. We're cool. Everyone's cool.
Okay.
I want you don't receive any notification, don't pay attention to any notification, and just focus on this until it becomes finished. Notifications make developers super slow. You should just listen to some music or know nothing and just focus on the code to prepare something that is working. So I need you at least for 3 days in a row next week to make it happen. And probably we should have hack sessions with Cherik about it. And maybe not Cherik yet. I should deploy the new one and play with the smart contract and see how it's whether we are presenting the right data. We have collected the right data or not. Yeah.
Sounds good. So wait, maybe it could even start this week. Like it could start tomorrow. I know your guys' days are almost done, but could we start attacking this like back end tomorrow?
I'm not working tomorrow, and then I don't know about Mohammed. Sorry, there is something for me, and I have a guest from outside.
No worries. No pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then maybe I guess the next work day for you guys is Sunday, right?
Yes.
I would work tomorrow. But if Amin can have time tonight, I don't know what's your status tonight. You can update me to I can work tomorrow and maybe weekend.
I would work. I would work tonight.
Okay.
That's when you come back.
Okay.
Sounds good. Cool. Awesome. And then I'm also, if you have any questions, Mohammed, that are like things I can answer, I'm totally available, working all the time and at your beck and call if you have questions.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I would ping you if I had any trouble with concepts and something like that.
Great. Awesome. Cool. Okay. So then I think that these issues with the checklists are pretty clear. Like I did one for each of GiveBacks, GiveGuard, and GiveFarm. I talked to Fabio about this when we're going to finish getting this like NFT staking. He said last time I talked to him, I think was yesterday, and he said that the code still needed a bit more refactoring. I mean, are you taking it over from him, or are we kind of still waiting on him?
He made a PR. He said that it's ready. Maybe I pass it to Cherek to review it, and maybe if it needs some refactoring, apply it, because I consider Cherek mainly responsible for the back for the front end, and he is obsessed over the code quality like me. Maybe we spend some few hours at the beginning, but after that, the deployment will be faster and better maintainable.
Sounds good.
I signed Cherek as a reviewer of the PR.
Yeah, thank you. I watched it. I think it takes about 3 hours to review and maybe some improvements. After that, I can merge it to the development.
Nice.
Excuse me, guys. Can I leave?
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Cherek.
thank you. Goodbye.
Go.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye. Okay, cool. So, well, that's great. I'm glad we got through that stuff while Cherek was still here. Last week, I put this as an issue because I wasn't sure what the status was. Last week, we were saying that maybe Mohammed could write unit tests for the Uni v3 pool thing. Does it make sense? Like, are you still going to do this, or is this like, I don't know.
I have put my effort on the graph, so I didn't do anything on unit tests.
Okay, cool. Well, if this is not high priority, I can just like leave it there, and then if after you're done the graph, you could. I don't know if this is. I don't even know what this is, so I don't know how important it is. Oh, all right. Okay, cool. Well, other than that, we have a couple more things that are on here. Actually, Griff, I wanted to ask you about this. Like for the gardens, did they set it up so that you can delegate your voting power yet?
No, I checked in with them and they said it's going to be. They're halfway through it. I think they were estimating next week. I will estimate 2 weeks, and they'll have something up.
Okay. All right. I guess we should just wait until they have something so we can see what it feels like in their UI and see how we want to like incorporate that with ours. Because I think it would maybe be nice to add into like the give drop flow after you claim, you have maybe an option of like delegating voting power.
Totally. I mean, it's been working really well for ENS and Gitcoin, right? It's a great engagement opportunity. It gives us legitimacy. We get all these delegates, blah, blah, blah. I think we could get some good delegates because of our, credibility and history. So it's an opportunity if we want it. And if it's too much scope, then we don't do it. But I told them that please let us test it for you.
Yeah, cool. So we can just check in with like them in the Give Gardens chat, maybe like in a week, and ask them how it's going.
Yeah, I ask them every Tuesday.
All right, cool. Great. So since we still have a bunch more time left, I think we can talk about like some of these extra things that are here as issues. Retroactive givebacks. Maybe we should start thinking about how we're going to calculate this and how it's going to work and what we need to like create in order to make retroactive givebacks possible. It's basically like giving givebacks to the people who donated in this period of time. From what period of time?
Yeah, from March until when we launch. And I think that we just use our give and we announce it later, I don't think we have to announce it at launch that we're doing it.
Okay.
I would cut it from scope of launch just to have sanity. I mean, we'll have all the data of who donated, right? I mean, like on Giveth, we'll have all the data.
Yeah. Okay, so we can at launch we can figure out how much that is, like how much in total donations, and then determine how much we want to like allocate from our give to make it reasonable.
Exactly, because then we'll also have the price of the token and all these. We'll have some understanding.
Cool. That sounds great. My next question is, so if people don't claim their give drop, should the give tokens go back to the DAO after some time? Or like there's different ways that people do this. I don't know. Shapeshift had it like, it's like you have like 2 months to claim it, and then after that 10% goes every 10 days. Do we want to do something like that? And this is, we would need to create, like develop something like this before launch, right? If we're going to make it sooner, but I think.
I mean, is there an escape hatch or a way to pull tokens out of the token distro? Or a Merkle drop? Yeah, out of the token distro, is there a way?
We have the claim to that owner can claim for another one. You know, define another one as a recipient.
Okay, so we could call claim to for addresses and send it to the DAO. That'd be a live transaction, but we could do it. So we wouldn't do the 10% thing. If we wanted to do it, we'd do a hard cut and just say, you don't claim by this date, you know, you don't get your drop. We could do that. And then we would just send all the money to the Gardens DAO.
Should this be like a forum post, or should we just maybe just discuss it in like the Gov call or something? Like, what's the best way to decide if or when that cutoff date might be?
I like making it. I like doing it after launch, honestly, and making it a governance decision. You know, it's a way to let the delegates decide something. That because by default it will just go forever, and we could choose it off.
Cool. Sounds great. It's nice. I think this is like mostly all of what I have here. Okay, the other things that came up were the smart contract support. So do we still want to bring, because Donna said, and everybody knows now that Pavle is not sick anymore. So could maybe come and support some more on the smart contract development. Like, do we need this extra resource? How is it going with our support from BuyBuyB and from Jesus? What do you think? I mean, Griff?
I was just asking Griff how much is responsible the available, because I ping him sometimes and he doesn't answer. But it's cool. He calls me twice. We have a call, but I don't know how much. Maybe it would be nice, because the task maybe is complicated for him. Maybe we can assign it to another one. I don't know how much bandwidth will Pavlo have for us. Maybe give the task to him. You know, my concern right now is adding tests. I spent about more than 1 day whole for testing. More than maybe 2 days at least for testing the Uniswap staking. It's very complicated to deploy the smart contract. I try to bring the smart contracts and tests inside our project. I'm not successful yet, but you know, we have other tests that can be done by others simultaneously. It's my plan for using our resources.
I think that's a great way to go. And I don't know how much bandwidth. I mean, Jesus has a full-time job, so he doesn't have much bandwidth. But he can support, and I think the best place for Jesus is as a reviewer, not a doer necessarily, you know? and helping us get it to a standard that Edu can also review from. And then getting Pavle to do anything, anything that he can do, but just give him 1 or 2 tasks most at a time, and hopefully they're, that's what I suggest, because we don't know what his commitment is either.
Yeah.
What about ViveIV? Because I think Amin was asking at the beginning about what ViveIV's commitment is.
ViveIV is a rock star, and I pay him, so he will work for sure. Probably only has like 10 hours a week though, but he would be stoked to write tests and try to figure these things out.
I mean, were you saying that you were? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, you said what? Pavle or we?
ViveIV.
The potato head guy.
Yeah. What did you say about tests? He write tests? What did you say?
Yeah,
I think he would be stoked to write tests. Stoked means he'd be really happy to write tests. Sorry, stoked is not a real word. It's just like a West Coast word. Sorry about that. Yeah, he would be really excited to write tests and work about 10 hours a week, probably, is my guess. But he's also completely junior. He's a 19-year-old dude in India that's really smart, really awesome, really fun, and a great has only done high quality work, but has no idea what he's doing with smart contracts. So.
Nice.
Whereas Pavle's been working with smart contracts for 4 years, has worked professionally in various circumstances. So more likely to have the tricks, like, oh, UDV3 importing these tests with hard hat. Yeah, okay, I can, he's more likely to be able to do that kind of stuff. I worry that Pavle might not finish well though.
Okay.
He's a great starter.
What do you think, Amin? Do you have any more questions?
I want to ask Griff to tell we to answer my message sooner.
ViveIV?
Yeah.
ViveIV.
ViveIV might be on vacation right now. Hold on. Let me check.
Really? I'm waiting for his response. So.
Okay, we can go to the next one.
Okay. The next one. Well, I mean, that's almost everything that I have. The only thing else I added to the agenda, which we don't really need to talk about, was the potential of bringing, well, we can talk about quickly, but the potential of bringing this extra guy on, this project manager guy, to organize giving people swag with the give drop. So it's like we could have like a test swag token, like a Rinkeby swag token that they're eligible and they can buy it from Printful or whatever. So I just wanted to add it so that it becomes a real thing. I'm excited about it. It'll be cool. Other than that, that's everything I have on the agenda, and that's pretty much everything that's on the board. I know that Ashley, you were asking about testing. So, and Donna, I know you're interested in testing as well. I think so. After Amin deploys this like new liquidity mining situation, and then we create the new garden, I think probably it will take a little while. I would love to do testing once everything actually makes sense. Like right now, there's a lot of things like in the front end that are just stagnant numbers that aren't like updating from the smart contracts or from the back end at all. So it might be maybe like another week until things get coordinated. Like I think Mohammed and Amin are going to start working a bunch together early next week. So maybe by the end of next week, we'd have like a test situation. But yeah.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, whenever it's ready, just give us the green light. I'd love to like have like a testing party or something and try to get everybody doing it together. That'd be cool.
I want to do that. I want to like once everything's ready, I want to like organize testing parties and we can all start doing things together. And then if anyone has any questions, we can go through it. And then we can kind of do like more async testing after that. Or Donna, if you're leading a bunch of testing, after you jump in and start understanding everything, then maybe you could also like help empower other people. Because I do think it would be really good to get like our whole team using everything, you know, even like some of our devs, we could just organize more testing parties. So it's like everybody plays a little with liquidity mining, everybody plays a little bit like voting in the garden. So at least our whole team understands how everything works. And then also everyone on the team is getting a bunch of give. So if we have a bunch of give, it would be great if everyone knows how to use it.
Told me as well, but first I have to use the IO and trace. I'm going to do it with IO and trace, and then go to gardens. First, I want to test it by myself to see what's going on, and then I'm going to hold a bunch of testing parties to make sure that everyone test everything. And I have a request. We have 10 minutes, so I have a request. I saw that Giveth created a Miro board, a smart contract Miro board. Giveth, can you briefly walk us through that? It's really nice to just, I think it gives us what's going on in Gardens smart contracts.
Sure. I mean, it's not just gardens. It's all of the things.
Yeah, it's really it's a great work. So.
Well, do we have time, Lauren, or do we have some more things to go through?
You're mute, Lauren. Lauren, you're mute.
Thanks. Yeah, I think we do have time. I think we have time. We can go through it if you want. But maybe
Sorry, do you need me for anything? Because I'm rushed through preparing something for Jesus' call.
Do you need anything from us? I need to know if you need something.
No, I have lots of things to learn.
So
Okay.
I think Vi was on vacation for Diwali and some other things that were happening, like family stuff. So I think he's back and he'll message you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amin.
Thanks, Amin.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
I'm in front of my computer.
Bye.
For any case, yeah, ping me. I'm in front of my machine. Bye.
Great. Cool. Awesome. Mohammed, is there any other questions that you have in order to make your life easier while you're starting to dive into the back end? You're on mute.
Thanks. No, I think no. I should just get over the graph. If we just implement one endpoint with the graph, then the other endpoints would be easier. So the first step may take time, but yeah, I would work on that hard in the weekend and the earliest days of next week. So I don't have any question for now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're amazing. Thank you. Okay. Well, that's all I have. If Griff, you want to do a demo of the smart contracts Miro board, it'd be cool.
Sure. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So, this is kind of the overview. Each one of these boxes, and I can send this Miro board, or someone else can put this Miro board in the GIVeconomy chat. But the yellow boxes are like different systems. The green boxes are smart contracts that other people do. The red contracts are smart contracts that we do. And the blue ones are addresses, individual people. So on mainnet, the systems we need to worry about is that we have the Omni bridge, the bridge to XDAI. We have the UniV3. We have Balancer. We have our stream, like the token distro. And we have the Give farm. And then we have our Gnosis safe and our token. So we're going to deploy the token on mainnet. And then with that token, we're going to put 1.5% of the tokens, which will be, 15 million tokens, will go to the token distro. 65 million will go to this Gnosis safe and just sit there for later use. And these are the only tokens that don't end up in a distro, and that's because we don't know which chain we should put them in, right? Maybe we want to do mining on Arbitrum. Who knows? So we're leaving these out of the distro so that we can put them on the chain where they're going to have the most impact. Otherwise, every other token goes into one of the token distros, either on mainnet or XDAI. And so only 8% of the tokens will stay on mainnet. 92% of the tokens, 920 million tokens, will go to XDAI. But for these 1.5%, for these 15 million tokens that are in the stream, they're all set up to go to these two farms. So one farm is for the balancer pool and just give token staking. Each one of these has 25 million tokens going. Wait, is that right? 2.5 million tokens assigned to it. And so people will use the Unipool token distributor. This is a smart contract that doesn't hold tokens, but it is like, it controls the stream. And so people will stake their tokens into the Unipool distributor. It doesn't hold Give tokens, but it does hold their liquidity tokens, and it holds the Give tokens that people are staking, right? And then that contract will communicate to the distro. So when someone comes in and is like, hey, I staked some Give tokens, I staked some balancer tokens, they'll go and they'll tell the Unipool token distributor, hey, yo, give me my tokens, man. Give me some of that sweet Give yield farming. And then the Unipool token distributor will tell the token distro to send him the tokens and set a stream. It's the same for UniV3. Except UniV3 is really complicated. Instead of having all of this, we have whatever UniV3 threw up, which is like crazy. But it's the same system, except what we do with UniV3 is we kind of create a token, a fake token, that all this token does is act like the Unipool distributor. And it just tells when the Unipool UniV3 contract says, hey, we're going to send you some rewards. Here you go. Here's your tokens. The tokens are they're just destroyed. They're not even really sent to the user. And instead, the token actually calls the distro and sets the stream and sends them Give tokens. So it's kind of like how we hack the UniV3 system. Because of this hack, though, UniV3's yield farming rewards, the liquidity mining rewards, do not change. It's the same week after week. And whereas these other ones, they change every 2 weeks. Okay, so that's mainnet. On XDAI, when we bridge all the tokens over, when we do that bridge token, there's actually an ERC 677 token minted. We do not deploy this contract. Someone else, this is deployed automatically from the bridge, and we'll put all of those straight into the token distro. The Merkle drop will have 170 million and 500,000 Give tokens assigned to it. And so that will, when people come to claim their stream, claim their Give drop, they'll also get their stream, and that follows the same pattern. They talk to the Merkle distro, they claim their action, and then it goes. For the yield farming, there'll be a Sushi Swap token and a Honey Swap token. The Sushi Swap token is also given $2.5 million Give tokens of allocation. That will be, of course, like partially streamed and partially, mostly streamed and partially liquid. And the Honey Pool token, the Give versus Honey, will actually be given 10 million tokens. And it follows the same pattern. They stake the tokens in the Unipool contract. the token stream is sent to them when the person who staked the tokens goes and talks to the Unipool contract, says, "Give me my money," and then token distro is sent to them. When people want to claim their stream, they have to they have to go to the token distro and request it, right? And when their stream builds up, they can just request it if they're not farming, but if they're farming, then it'll get called automatically. Okay, so now there's some weird stuff. Like, I'm just going to zoom to givebacks. We have this special function that I believe is called send givebacks. So we have the rGiveDAO. Oh, I forgot to talk about the system on XDAI. The system on XDAI is much more complicated. We have our DAO, and our DAO has two agents. One is the distributor. It's the person that can like actually claim. It's like has special roles in the distro and has a lot of ownership. And then we have the treasury, and the treasury receives money. So the agent one, the distributor, dishes money out to people, like for givebacks. And the agent two is just another wallet address for our DAO, basically. Actually receives money and pays salaries and does all that. Then we have the Give Garden, which has conviction voting, DAO voting. It's all the garden stuff. We have Honey Swap. We have Sushi Swap. Right here. So this is Sushi Swap. We have the bridge, of course. We'll have the Give Farm, which will have the Unipool token distributor. Well, I'll talk about that in a second. We have the Give Drop and the Give Stream. So the Gardens DAO has a different Unipool token distributor that's specifically made to interact with Gardens and kind of be added to Gardens. And so when people stake their tokens in the Gardens, and they'll end up wrapping Give tokens, and those Give tokens will sit in the garden, and the person will receive a non-transferable governance token. And that's the governance token that they can use to vote on things. Well, they'll be rewarded with the with the token distro whenever the staker comes and says, "Hey, Garden Unipool token distributor, give me some money," right? Then the Garden Unipool will actually tell the token distro to send it. And with givebacks, every 2 weeks, the rGiveDAO, which I guess is now the nrGiveDAO, will actually call a function called send givebacks, which will kind of set people's streams and how much they can claim in the token distro, and it'll assign it to their addresses. And then the donors will have to come and actually claim, and then they'll get their stream and their liquid token. There's a few other side things that we have to sort out, like how to change addresses, and how to, the garden will have a stream set to it, and so any address can claim for that garden, and these sorts of things. There's little side edge cases that are sorted through too, but we're basically out of time, so that's the story.
All right, we're out of time. But I have a question. Quick question. So for the rGiveDAO distributing givebacks, the agent makes a vote. Do people have to vote on it in order for the givebacks to go through? So it's every 2 weeks we need an rGive holders to go and vote.
Yeah, I mean, we could change that if we want, but that's the game. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any way we could change the quorum for just that, those types of votes? Yeah. Yeah,
we can make a second voting app that has a different requirements, and that voting app can be the voting app that governs the distributor.
And we could make that voting app also basically make it possible that not anyone could ask for tokens to be minted and stuff like that, so we don't get kind of malicious proposals in that voting app.
What do you mean?
I don't know, because I'm thinking like you would still need someone to vote on it, right? Even if you made the minimum quorum really low, but or the support required. But I guess minimum quorum. If you made the minimum quorum really low, someone would still have to vote on it. But then, like, my concern would be like within that voting app, could like anybody still go and be like mint tokens, and then like and it could just be like passed super easy because the minimum quorum's really low. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it still controls, like, we're giving away 1 million tokens every 2 weeks. That's a lot of tokens. So
it is.
It's still a serious process.
I guess we could just make it like ritual in the Gov call. Everyone goes and votes on this thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, great. Cool. Okay, well, we're at the top of the hour. That was really great, Griff. Thank you for showing us that.
Mm-hmm.
I also have another quick question, not necessarily about the smart contracts, but about like testing the distro. Whenever we do the test distribution, is it going to distribute test tokens to everybody that's on our list for distribution, or only to like certain people?
Only if they claim it.
Okay, so we could essentially like reach out to DAppNode or like people who would receive tokens in the distro and ask them to test it, and they would already have the tokens that they need to do so. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but for the liquidity mining and stuff like that, Amin has made it with like test honey. Oh yeah, but we're doing it on Coven, like for testing. But he made like a test honey and a test wrapped ETH, and so I have a bunch of those tokens that I would have to distribute to whoever's testing.
Okay.
They can also use the Give tokens to buy it in the pools, as long as they're not first.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering because I think it would be helpful in testing to reach out to some other people who haven't been like in on the process the whole way through and get some like fresh eyes.
Totally.
Once we know that it's all working the way we think it's supposed to work, no reason to get them involved right now. But I'd say this week or
not.
next.
I don't think so either. I was just curious if it would be a big task to involve them when the time is right.
Totally. Cool.
Time's up.
Yep.
Everyone go home.
Gotta run, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Chris.
Bye.
Bye.